everybody, and welcome to another series in the 2 to 3 days Spotlight series. Today I am talking to Yuji Huang from Pinsent Masons. Yuji is a senior associate and a corporate finance lawyer for them. Before we go any further, just a quick explanation as to Pinsent Masons. They are a purpose-led professional service firm with law at its core. Their purpose is to make business work better for people. They have lined every aspect of their business around this purpose and are committed every day to create a diverse and inclusive and considerate law firm. So on that note, let's get stuck in and let me introduce you to Yuji. Yuji, lovely to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Juliet.
Thank you. So Yuji's been at Pinsent Masons for over a year now, and what is really quite extraordinary and inspiring is that she works 3 days a week in the corporate finance team. She's also the primary caregiver to 2 young children, and she is also pursuing her own creative writing passion. And last year she signed with an agent to publish her first novel, which is amazing. Had flexible working not been an option with Pinsent Masons, there's no way that she would be able to carry on juggling her love of corporate law as well as raising her family and writing her book. So Yuji, I really want to get stuck in straight away and find out a little bit more about how you juggle your 3-day a week in the corporate finance team. How does it really work?
So right now I work 3 days a week, and those tend to be on fixed days. We are a little bit flexible in terms of which 3 days those are, depending on the needs of the practice at that given time and the other commitments that I have going on, but it does tend to be 3 set days. In previous roles, I've tried other ways of working, so full-time working, part-time, 4 days a week, flexible consulting. I've done different things, but for right now, 3 fixed days a week is it's kind of what works for the needs of our practice and for just the other commitments that I have in my life at the moment.
Okay, let's have the real conversation here. Corporate law is infamously known to be long hours, big heavy deadlines from clients, and an always-on mentality. Are you really walking your talk? Is Pinsent Masons really supporting you to work 3 days a week in this department? How do you make it work, really?
I think it really comes down to supportive management. Almost 100% of it comes down to that. I tell people all the time, I have the best boss in the world. So, and I really do mean that. So the partner that I primarily work with, Roberta Markovina, who's the head of our U.S. securities team here, she is just incredibly supportive, has been respectful from day one of the working pattern that we've agreed, and genuinely tries to make, my non-working days actually non-working. There are friction points because, ultimately it is a client service business, right? So last year we were working on what ended up being the largest IPO in London of last year. And of course, that is an all hands on deck all the time kind of deal. And so when that was going on, we both needed to be a little bit flexible in terms of when I was working. But nonetheless, she was still incredibly supportive in helping me to manage those boundaries even during that time. So I think, almost 100% of it is going to come down to just having management that genuinely really supports flexible and part-time working.
Okay, thank you. And how would you describe, if you were talking to me over a glass of wine or go for a dog walk with a friend, how would you genuinely describe the culture of Pinsent Masons? And what's the advice that you'd give to any woman out there who's considering her next career move, whether she's already working for private practice or whether she's working in-house or whether she's on a career break? What would your advice to be, and why is Pinsent Masons such a special law firm to work for?
That is a really good question, Juliet. I think so. I guess two separate questions. On the first one about Pinsent Masons, the 2 words that would instantly come to mind, I would say, are it's a very human place to work and a very innovative place to work. Those are probably not words that you would associate with a law firm, but I genuinely have found that to be the case here. There's a real culture around, being respectful of other people's time, being considerate when you schedule meetings, discouraging presenteeism, encouraging remote or agile working. In fact, even pre-COVID, Pinsent's had hot desks and hybrid kind of working even before everyone else started doing it, I suppose.
Okay.
So yes, and you really do feel that, I think, day in, day out as part of the culture of the firm. In terms of your second question and what advice I would give to others, I think that probably one thing to do is just to talk with other people who have tried part-time or flex-time working to see what arrangements have worked for them, because there is no one size fits all, and different things work for different people and different organizations. And so just trying to talk to as many people as possible is something that I think I found really useful. And also, I think really importantly, just not feeling guilty about it, and trying to work towards getting rid of some of the stigma around part-time working and flexible working, and just reminding yourself that you have a unique set of skills and experiences that you can bring to the table. And simply having a different arrangement of working doesn't mean that you don't provide value, right? You can be really helpful, really useful, and really valuable to an organization despite working part-time or flex time.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Yuji. Take care, and I better let you get back to work.
Okay, thanks, Juliet. Really nice to talk to you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.